All right, there we go. We are live.
I did. You know what? I was really tempted to say something right as you were going live,
Thank you.
but I didn't,
Thank you.
and you should be proud of me.
But you did. You just did it now.
Yeah.
No,
So
I was gonna be before the countdown.
last time we had to cut our session early because holy crap, our internet was screwing up like crazy. It was pretty darn bad.
Vex rage quit his own campaign.
I rage quit my own computer. That was some shit.
That's pretty
there was
much it.
no warning either.
Yeah.
There was no warning either.
I was like, we'll be right back in
Sam,
5
Bear, and I
minutes.
were just, and we're like, are they coming back? No, I don't think so.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
I had to
Like,
send a
"Come on,
Skype
guys."
message because freaking I couldn't
It
even
was
get
bad.
I couldn't get back. So now we are back. Last time we left off with Elder Baal, this old elf. I don't. I'm describing things, and my entire half the party leaves. Half the party just fucking gets up and
No, no,
leaves.
no. Here's the thing. My headset is wireless.
Yeah,
I'm still listening.
but Sab just got up and left.
I needed my soft lips.
He's replaced himself with half a Triscuit box.
Um. There was a bit of an emergency. He'll be right back.
Oh great! Now he's gonna
Had to
shit
poop?
himself.
I don't know. He might.
Knowing him, probably.
He might. He might shit himself. He can explain why if you'd like.
Apparently,
Did
the
you have
glass-
Popeyes?
No, apparently the glass I was drinking water out of, I didn't bother to look at, and I had assumed that it had been washed, and it apparently had not. It had mold on the inside of it.
Oh
I've been
man!
drinking out of it for like a minute and a half now.
Oh, you will
Ew.
be.
Sam's gonna
So-
die everyone.
So if we have to suddenly go on break, we'll
That's
also make
why.
sure to
This is the
mute
last
him.
known recording of Sab.
Comes from
This is-
my
Oh,
This is
jeez.
the
All right.
memorial
You don't
stream.
touch things. You don't touch things near the sink. You touch things in the dishwasher or
At
in the
the
cabinet.
It
at
was
the
out
end
of
of
the
part 3
cabinet.
in loving memory
It
of
came out of the
Sabrith.
cabinet.
That's terrifying.
Survived a horrific aquarium accident, only to be killed by mold.
This is our pre-memorial stream.
All right, so we last left off. We were over the desert here, near. Let me zoom in a little bit here. Near, not really near Ter Shantra, but like out here where this little box is, and they encountered an old council member, old elf named Elder Baal. Seda knows
Oh,
him.
right.
Fear knows him. As a matter of fact, that's who they scried upon, and then he suddenly, like, when he was being scried on, he looked up, and then the scry session ended as fast as last week's session ended. Just like that.
Oh,
So they met up,
Jack's
brought him on
still
board.
my notes.
Yeah. So they brought him and
I like
his
the-
small elven party aboard Melissa's ship, and began talking to them. Figured out a couple things.
Well, we're heading on the way to Zephyr Keep, which was their destination.
Yes, that's where they wanted to try and get to. We were just about to get in, I think, more discussion after a little bit of gambling was done when the internet failed us. Almost, if not worse than Starscream fails Megatron.
For the second last time, Starscream.
All right, so I'll let you guys kind of pick up where you want with who you want to talk to. We'll just say that it is, say, 10 o'clock the next morning, because I know you had let the prisoners talk and found out that they were somehow part of Jake Metter's deal. So I'll let you guys take off where you want.
We were supposed to ask Elder Bale things, weren't we?
Yeah.
That was all on you, because Sab ain't got no charisma.
Yeah, I don't think we
And
had
you
sat
think-
down for the full discussion, or we were just about to, or maybe like just started it.
We were right
Yeah.
at starting to.
Okay. All right. Well, is Seda still staying in the upper deck, or is she coming down, walking around?
I kind of want to hear what they have to say, but I don't want to.
All right. Well, roll me a stealth check.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you got noticed already.
Not yet.
And tell me Firu's mod.
For stealth?
Mhm.
Oh, shit.
You are deaf.
+3.
Firu's?
Firu has better stealth than I do.
A
That's-
giant horseman has better stealth than you.
Yeah, you
All
guys
right.
are definitely.
So you are on the back of Firu, and you guys kind of go
I'm kind of like
around the
laying
corner.
down, hiding on his back.
Elder Bael and the party are down below deck in the little tavern, and they're in wonder of the place. This is not something they would have even imagined. So they're looking around and just like, okay, they get the whole tavern thing. They get that. That's not weird. It's the fact that it's on an airship thing.
Yeah.
And so some of them are kind of like very untrusting and kind of like holding on to the side of the walls, like this thing's gonna fall at any second. But he tries to play it cool. But when the airship kind of like gets caught in some wind and kind of tilts a little bit, he has his cane and kind of like
Immovable rod!
and things level out. And then he has a seat. Two people kind of keep his guard, and that's when he looks up and Firu is like around the corner, and then you just see Sada's head on top of Firu's going.
So they're doing the Scooby Doo peek.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
But like one is 10 feet high and the other is like almost at the ceiling
Yeah.
because she's standing on his back to lean over. So Elder Bael looks up at you. And he sees you first and he's just like, And he sees Firu and he just kind of goes, and it's about that time that Tael and Io approach Elder Bael. You guys kind of scheduled a meeting or something, and that distracts his attention for a moment.
I'm gonna just look in the direction that he was looking in
Okay.
and see them. And I'm just gonna comment, very stealthy.
His head slowly goes back behind the wall.
He goes.
You know why you failed,
She-
Sada? It's because you didn't say sneaky, sneaky, sneaky.
Yep.
He goes. That young woman looks just like an elf that left our settlement months ago. Poor girl. I hope she is well. Curse had taken her. And she
This
traveled
one-
upon a centaur that looked very similar to the man standing there.
Oh.
What a
Interesting.
coinky dink.
Yeah.
The thing that throws him off is that she looks so much younger. And of course she doesn't have the antlers and stuff.
Yeah.
But he
Yeah.
knew her before she had that, so it throws him off.
What a coinky dink.
That's a double throw off. So you had a triple take.
But like, what was the
He looks
name?
once, it's her. He looks over again, it's Fear. He looks over again, it's Fear's nipple.
And it's got like one long,
Style.
and it's
What
got
was-
one long stringy hair on
That's
it.
when Tail rolls a bluff check and says, rolls a 1 on a bluff check and says, "Don't worry, we've never seen a cursed elf with antlers and branches and everything all over them before."
Hold on.
Didn't say anything
No,
about.
that's Io.
So what do you say to him?
I assure you, we've never seen anything of that exact unpronounceable description.
What was this individual's name? Because Taylor's just like, why are they hiding?
Right, because they didn't
What
tell
the
you.
fuck are they doing?
Yeah, so they didn't tell you the full background and stuff. Her name was Sada, and her companion was Firuz Jehan.
Okay, let me stop. Excuse me a moment, and I'm just gonna go.
Shimmy, shimmy,
Just
shimmy,
gonna
shimmy,
go.
shimmy. He looks back up to his two companions, just like, the customs are
I'm
far
going straight up
stranger
to
than
Sada
I had
and
imagined.
And go.
These outlanders.
Point towards Elder Bell. Explain. What the hell?
Firuz goes, he noticed.
Yeah, he noticed.
Was he angry?
No. He was not angry at all. It was honestly more concerned.
Oh. Well, when she was cursed, she was to be exiled with nothing, pretty much, and before the day of her exile, I kind of stole some armor, maybe a weapon or two. He looks down to the broadsword,
Maybe.
the horse armor that you guys had seen him in when he first came, when you first met, was the armor that he had stolen, and some supplies. and we made out right before
Made
sunset.
out.
No, we ran away with the stuff. I ran away with
Crimson
her.
wrote,
And this isn't a beret you story, right?
A what?
A beret you
"Oh,
story.
beret you, a lie."
Oh, I get it now. No, no. He. So I figured he was the only one that had really stood up for her on the council, but still, it is us taking stuff from them.
It had to be a
Well-
unanimous vote, and so eventually,
It's okay. They're doing fine. They've got plenty of supplies. Oh, shit. Wait.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm fairly certain he'd like to see you too. I think there was more of a concern about how you guys were doing, and
Okay.
he still thinks you're cursed somewhere.
Okay, Shy, if you can, how is Seda dressed?
in that bikini,
No,
Okay.
you still got your cloak.
Nice.
Okay,
yeah,
so
you-
she's got a cloak and a
I
bikini.
have a cloak and a bikini. It's like a half cloak too, so like my panties just stick out of it.
Perfect. All right, so no,
My
Tay, you can
trousers
take.
closed. There might be a hole in the back for my tail.
You're
but,
used to Firu's mannerisms and stuff. He's not lying, and Seda backs him up as well. So he very shyly like steps out and looks over to Elder Baal.
So,
He gives like a low bow, and Elder Baal goes, Firuz Jehan? Yeah. May the light bless you.
She dresses.
And Firuz says, and the moon look upon you. And they both kind of like do a bow. And the councilman is just like, he points up to Seda and it's just like, Did you haven't been gone long enough for her to have had a
Yo.
daughter? Yo, he definitely doesn't recognize
I was doing a
Excel saga. Yo, bitch.
Yo, bitch.
Jeez. All right. No, he looks up at Seda and goes, "She wasn't gone long enough to have had a daughter. Who is that? It looks just like Seda when she was a young girl."
there was a bit of a magical mishap.
Seda?
hmm Get out there.
He stands up hurriedly.
Is she still
No, she's on
hiding?
Fear's back.
who
He
let
stands
you
up
out?
hurriedly and walks over, and like he keeps shuffling forward and looks up.
Hey, wait, you might not want to look up that hard.
Seda?
She's wearing a bikini.
Uh-huh. Hey.
What happened? He's clearly like also looking up the poncho cloak thing.
Yeah.
You know him as an old pervert.
Maybe
he was
I
really
should get
nice.
down to eye level then.
We fixed her curse. That's what happened.
Like, yeah,
Well, we fixed.
I kind of died. And then,
Only once.
listen, it's a long story.
Here, I'll sum it up for you. She ended up having to be contracted to a devil type thing, and then ended up getting that cleansed of her, and her curse. But we forgot to mention the de-aging thing from when she decided to go and touch a talking bow. That's about it.
I still
She
have
likes
it.
touching. She likes touching talking items. Just a heads up.
Like that sword she's got.
I have been alive for 980 some years, and I haven't the faintest memory of that much bullshit happening. In
This is
all of
in less
it,
than a year.
in all of that
Another-
980 some years, I just. What?
That's like a
See, because it's that.
Shakes his head and starts walking away.
to him. It's probably all happened in one day.
Yeah,
It was one
he's just like,
Ferris Bueller kind of day.
yeah. He sits down, and he's just like, okay, all right, well, I guess we should talk about whatever it is you wanted to talk about. Kids
We,
these
ver-
days.
we live very interesting lives.
I guess you must have Dos Equis aboard. I'll have some of it.
Ew.
I want it.
He places an order for Dos Equis. 'Cause he needs some of that shit after all that. So what are your questions? As you all sit down, except for Fury, he stands there. What are your questions for Elder Baal? Because he is now sipping at one of these newfangled glass bottles of beer, and his two bodyguards are like next to him, going, This doesn't. What?
Here, Seda will
Twist.
hop down and come open them.
Okay, well, she says twist, and he twists it, and it kind of like spills out, and he's like, it's creating drink!
Oh my gosh.
That's
Don't don't stick your tongue in the hole.
how he's trying to drink it until somebody corrects him.
They're like it's foaming.
Oh my god.
Give it a
First
moment.
time I've ever heard you say "don't" followed in that sentence.
Don't stick your tongue in the hole.
Don't
Shy
stick it in
2016.
Just around it.
Welcome to session 38. Don't stick your tongue in the hole. Just around it.
Am I gonna have to open every session with that
So-
now?
He figures out to start drinking it.
Everett is just laughing at me.
Right.
They don't know how to
And
drink.
they're looking at her like, what the hell is so funny? Why is she even laughing? What joke did she hear? So-
I will
so-
guide them through the process of
Sada's
properly.
trying to be
So once you
self-leader.
calm the situation down, which takes
You rolling a dice to determine
Uh-huh.
how long this takes.
it takes an
Okay.
entire minute, full 60 seconds, 10 rounds of explaining this shit to them, and they get it. They're being brought up to speed. So what are your questions? What do you want to talk about?
I really wish I could remember because I really don't now. An entire week has gone by.
All right, let's cut to it. What do you know about the Dragon Legion?
Who ran you off from? Well, we have to assume they were the ones that ran him off. So yeah, I guess that question works.
Well, what I know about the dragons is that there are 3 of them. They are. He kind of like he goes off, kind of like gazes at nothing essentially. By my guess, maybe young adults. The 3 of them. A bit wily, not well trained. At least not from what I could have told. With them is a regiment of hundreds, thousands maybe. Elves. We're talking footmen, mounted warriors, and mages.
As an aside, do we know how old the one was that we killed in Bastion?
Yes,
That
they
was-
do.
Yeah, that was a young dragon.
The huge one?
No, the
Oh wait,
huge
no,
one
no,
was
no.
grown. It was a
Sorry, yeah,
full-grown,
I was thinking about the ones that Tavin had.
No, the massive one that Fury
Yeah,
just-
Tay has it. She has the exact thing on it.
Okay, so
yeah,
what age
I got the-
category was it?
I got the bleh. Darn it, making me go and find things
While you're
again.
looking that up, he says that there's one member of the Undying Court among this regiment. They came upriver peacefully
It
at
was a
first.
mature adult,
Thank you.
whatever age category that is.
Peacefully.
Yes, peacefully at first. Then they sought numbers. They sought for us to join them, and where we were staying, we we almost split evenly. Half of us wanted to have nothing to do with the Undying Court or these dragons or whatever they were trying to bring upon us. While we respect our heritage with Arenal, we have parted with them long ago. The other half called true to their heritage. So, in a matter of hours, we lost half of our settlement. And when our half decided not to have anything to do with them, that's when things got violent. And such is the story across the Bay of Swords and up the river, the Redwater River.
Is there
They now call Tervelistas their home. Their army is there. One of the Undying Court is there. 3 dragons roam from there. And then there's many small encampments and settlements along the river, moving southward. Perhaps more, but I can only tell you what I have seen in my visions.
Why are you heading to Zephyr Keep specifically?
It is the only place I feel we might be safe in our small numbers.
So there's no organized resistance going on that you know of.
Not that I have seen, and not that I have seen in my visions. There are small skirmishes in the settlements, but we people of Valinor were never large in numbers or organized. Small tribes, enclaves, councils. So we are scattered as seeds upon this land, and to gather them all up, it was just too little, too late. So there are people fighting back, but no one unit or division.
Xander just asked, "Did you see a flying tavern in
No,
your vision?"
he specifically says frying, so I imagine that in an accent. Did you see frying tavern in your vision? Do you have noodle dream?
I'm curious. You said that they have many mounted soldiers, they've got regular foot soldiers, and they have mages. How powerful are the mages with them?
I have not seen them in combat. I fear if I had, I would not be here. We've managed to stay weeks ahead of their scouts.
Based on the people that defected from your side to theirs, what could we expect from them?
The the way that we as a people are, we live probably 10 times longer to 15 times longer than your races. And he kind of looks out to you and the other humans and stuff like that, orcs, half orcs, etc. Just anybody that's not an elf there. So a lot of that time is spent training and honing and training and practicing. We don't just pick up a hobby and go, oh, that's cute, that's neat, it's a thing to do in passing time. We pick up something to become very good at it. For me, it was to learn the sight, the dream sight. I believe some of your people are familiar with that. And he looks to Tay. And he says, so it is hard for me to say what you personally would be up against. But if you were to compare the average, say, human soldier that we would find along the border near Zephyr Keep to the average elven soldier, it would be at least 3 times better without proper, like, full training. So assuming that all the people that were with us when they defected were just average. You're looking at a challenge, at the very least. Out of character, what he's saying is like, if it was a level 1 human mage, then these elves would be a level 3 mage.
Other than the dragons, did they have any other aerial support?
Yes, as a matter of fact, they did.
Aside from
And
wyverns.
they. I haven't seen wyverns, but what I have seen with my own eyes, not with my sight, griffins. They mount atop several griffins, but I've never seen more than one or two with any regiment. In particular, one that we had seen as we were leaving Moonshadow was one griffin and 10 mounted warriors. I believe 5 with arrows and 5 with blade.
So Griffin's a nature check.
I think so.
It's either or to me.
Nature.
They can be
Pathfinder
magical.
rules, it's Arcana because they are something that's created. But
Yeah.
for Eberron, they're actually naturally occurring, so I allow nature.
Oh, well,
So
Ace is better.
I mean,
you
heck,
can
I
give me
relate
two.
to both
Give me two
decks.
rolls. Give me a knowledge Arcana and a knowledge nature, and we'll just take the higher.
Okay. Where the heck is my nature macro?
Since you actually have both.
I do have both. Nature was 29, Arcana was 27.
All right. So you know that
search
the. No, she doesn't need to. The base Griffin is only CR4, and you have to go with the base, being that's all he's describing. So it's a majestic beast with a body of a lion, head and 4 legs of a great eagle, and a massive pair of feathered wings. We're not talking Witcher 3 Griffin. The vulture lion.
Right.
They are powerful aerial predators, weighing in at over 500 pounds, 8 feet long. As far as being mounted for combat, they require a lot of practice and training to bear the weight of the rider. So typically, a griffin with a rider is like bonded with that rider. They're used to that rider specifically. On top of that, I will allow you to learn.
So what you're telling us is we can't just knock the rider off and claim the griffin for our own.
Right.
Correct.
Well, you could, but you'd have to get it trained to you.
Yep.
So I will
like, in the
allow
heat
you
of the moment-
to, with that roll, you can learn 3 of the 4 things. You can learn its defenses, its offenses, its stats, or its ecology. 3 out of those 4.
What was the last one?
Defense,
Ecology.
offense, stats, and ecology.
Ecology is where they're from. Their their
Environment,
history, essentially.
treasure, organization.
You know, it's funny that this is coming up because the last campaign that Zeta played, she had a griffin mount.
Well, yeah, she just hatched the egg.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it is. I see. I agree.
I guess we'll go with the first 3. Does that sound good to you guys? Do you guys
Okay.
want to know about that? Because I'm
All right.
relaying all this to you.
So their
because-
base
Look,
AC is 17. Their hit points are typically no more than about 50 to 75. Their flying is where they're strongest. 80 feet of movement speed. 30 on land, though, so they can still keep up with you on land.
Me.
They have a bite attack, 2 talon attacks, and that reach is 5 feet out, but they take a 10-foot square. They're able to pounce and rake using 2 claw attacks. Their highest is strength and constitution. Their lowest is charisma and intelligence. Their intelligence comes in at 5, so they are able to understand you. They're best at acrobatics, flying, and perception. And they have a very high fortitude. Next is reflex, and the lowest is will. They understand common, though they cannot speak it.
Aw. They have a very low will save. I just imagine just slumbering one.
It's not that they have a very low will save; it's that
Slumming.
that's their lowest.
I understand. But still, the idea of
Mhm.
of a
Yeah,
girl
you can do
just
that to
going.
flyers. That's the risk of having a flying mount. Is if
Yes, it
something
is.
stops from flying, you might be in trouble.
Yep.
Yeah. I picture griffins as like the horses in Disney movies. Like Pegasus and stuff. They understand everything you're saying.
Yeah.
Like
They're just burbs
the heck
with
is
the feet.
what the heck is that horse? Maximus in Tangled.
So,
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
what
horse.
have you seen? What have you seen so far as their battle plan?
As their what?
Their battle plan, their tactics. What are they doing? Are they sweeping through and killing anyone who doesn't want to ally with them, or what?
The way it is, they show up, they recruit, they take the people that are willing to come with them, and then those that didn't, they take, kill, or send away. We didn't get to get sent away. We got attacked and ran. Unfortunately, this is all that's left of our tribe near Moonshadow.
So it's not just that they came in and said, "Hey, pick sides." The people who chose their side knew that they were probably going to kill you for not picking their side.
No, this was the beginning of it all.
So they came in. I'm just trying to get the order straight here. They came in, they requested you to pick sides. Then they took away the ones who went with them, made sure they were no longer there, and then came back to kill you.
Yes. And now they just show up and you must pick sides. And if you don't choose their side, they try to kill you. They, as far as the old or the sick, they just leave them or send them away with no supplies, no nothing.
What kind of defenses does Terra Valistas have?
It had
Are
none.
they
It was just a
branding
large.
them as well?
It
Like because
hang on. It was
sorry.
he explains Tervalistas like the place in freaking Game of Thrones, where it's just a bunch of ruined statues and things like that, old monuments to old gods and things like that, and then a bunch of tents and temporary setup placements. It's not a traditional city. It is ever-changing city. At best, they have a few wooden huts, but they mostly set up large tents and stay
It's a
there
port
and then move
city.
away.
Okay, Sab is going to nod at that and then step away and say, "I'll be right back," and she's
I
going to go
was-
find somebody.
I was questioning about whether or not they were branding the people as well because, for example, there's Chalene who got branded and they were taking them away. So they're taking some people and then killing the others.
Pretty much, yes. And I have had violent visions of this branding, yes. Normally across the cheek.
Where is Chalene right now? She's on the
Yeah.
ship somewhere, isn't she?
You can just
Yeah,
you can
that's
just say
so.
that, Sab, instead of
Oh, okay.
yeah, because I mean nobody there's gonna hear you.
Alright, so Sab,
His Gatling gun has a 60-foot range.
yeah, so Sab went to go find Dome and ask him what kind of distance he
Yeah.
could get off his Gatling gun and see if he could do flyby strafing runs with it.
Yeah, the ammo it's magical ammunition, so it creates as it fires.
Oh, that is.
I want that.
Yeah,
I need that.
it just fire. It acts as a normal pellet. It doesn't. The bullet itself isn't a magical bullet. Or sorry, it counts as magical for the purposes of being magical, but it doesn't count as like +1 bullets or anything like that.
Magma bullets. Okay.
But it
Meanwhile,
is.
Jared was all
I mean, that's fairly
silent
short range.
until the
Yeah.
mention of ammunition,
guns.
and it was.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, Garrett's gun makes its own ammunition now too, unless he wants
Yeah.
specific ammunition.
And Garrett has also got way more range than that.
Yeah.
Garrett
He's got that
actually
good old
could do
photon
short
cannon.
runs.
Yeah.
So Sab's gonna go back and ask. So, in your visions, what kind of things have you seen that this specific member of the Undying Court has been able to do?
I haven't seen what he's been able to do other than I had a vision once, a terrible one, where he touched somebody next to me and wounds opened up across their body. They just lacerations opened and blood began to spill.
Out of character, yeah, that's the thing I can do.
And then he
Isn't
goes,
that
Technically, a thing I
really
Hang on.
can
what
do. So,
inflict wounds is? It's
yes.
just the opposite of cure. Like, I don't
pretty
know.
much, but there's also
Yeah.
other abilities that are similar.
That are worse.
Isn't there one?
They're
Yeah,
all
that are
necromancy.
much worse.
They're all
Yeah.
necromancy.
Well, on
he-
hearing that, does anyone have the skills
hang
necessary
on.
to make a knowledge check?
Hang on, because he has more to describe. And then he goes, it happens with everything he seems to do or touch, though. He just, there was a if I- it's hard to explain. Imagine light being black and dark, and it just comes out, and everything it touches opens and bleeds.
But he
Not
has-
just his hand, but his magic, the very magic he uses, causes this to happen. And then there's some visions where I see him with the golden mask half wing, and
Didn't I see this
something-
in this dream?
yeah, something underneath.
I'm gonna mention that.
hang, Something underneath. He lifts the mask, and then all turns to ash. He's gone. He's just ash. I have tried to ponder upon its meaning, but I do not know.
Well, I mean, that may be him taking, like, dust form. Taya's been reading a lot about spells lately. But I would like to make an actual check to see if I actually know what
Yeah.
what
all
these
the
spells
bleeding is
are,
about.
rather than just making guesstimates.
What is all that bleedy? That's what you need to ask.
That's a spellcraft check for that.
Yeah.
Da, 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 da. Or a religion check, because I don't know if
It's
he's doing
actually
something.
it's an aura of shattered aquarium.
It doesn't really matter, Tay.
Weakness.
You studied enough magic that you can rule any spells as magic, as arcana.
Okay.
If it were determining a faith or something holy only, then it's something different. This particular thing, you've seen clerics. It's something that clerics are able to do.
Yep.
Specifically, clerics of a very necromantic type.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't inflict wounds. Inflict wounds is a very specific thing. It's channeled. It's a spell. What he has is something referred to as the touch of blood or bleeding touch. And this particular thing is, if his magic spells touch you, you begin to just open wounds and bleed. And it's not just like inflict wounds where you just like take it, you actually open up and you bleed profusely over many rounds.
Is it stopped the same way that normal bleeding is? Like when you are healed magically, it stops the bleeding.
Magical healing, yes, but bandages will not close the wounds.
Yep. It's gonna have to take a healing hex or cure
Yes.
cure wounds, potions and things.
Teo, you remember actually coming across the book when you were studying this stuff, that some of the first discovered uses of it were from those in the blood of Vol, and they learned the touch of blood or the bleeding touch through happenstance when trying to empower channeling stuff like inflict wounds, and it actually backfired on them, and it caused them to open up and bleed, and other members of the Blood of Vol learned what they were doing and honed it and practiced it better and better. So they actually killed off their own members on accident.
Speaking of, we ran into that one guy before with the Emerald Claw, and we've never heard anything about them since.
Yeah. Yeah, they weren't there.
I'm
You
pretty
suspect
sure.
they're in the Moorlands.
Well, yeah, they're either in the Moorlands or they're part of the whole group thing. That's what Tay's suspicion is. But because those two mesh together way too well. But Tay will relay this and that interesting little knowledgeable tidbit because
He shudders at the thought of such a spell.
yeah, it's pretty nasty. And
Can I
to
still hit him with a
to
hammer?
be well, yeah, I'm pretty sure you'd be able to hit him with a hammer, but you make sure that he
Okay.
doesn't hit you back
He says
because if he
that
hits you back, it's not going to be good.
they run scouting parties along the jungle of scimitars, the northern side of it, this side of the river. Um, he remembers seeing something with one of the griffins in that small party along the lines or the forest line when the hills and the plains vegetation grows and gets taller and eventually becomes the jungle. Um, that they would kind of go back and forth along there.
I want to ask him if he had any visions,
Specific?
including.
Hang on, what's Sab say?
Were they looking for something in particular, or were they?
I do not know why the vision pointed itself to me, but it seems so.
If there's,
I'm actually going to have him roll because he does know he has some other information, but he's not positive on it.
I was gonna say Sab sort of had a sudden realization.
Okay, go ahead.
Chalane said that they were still trying to find how they could awaken the old ones,
Mhm.
and that they, as far as she knew, hadn't managed to do it yet.
Does he say that aloud, or does she say that aloud? I'm sorry.
Chalane said that to us, yes.
No, no, no. I'm saying does Sab say that aloud?
Sab
Freedom!
disconnected. Sab disconnected themselves.
Yeah.
Sorry. Sab will say that, but not use Chalane's name.
Okay. Well, that wasn't the important part. He kind of says the old ones. They wish to wake the old ones. You mean the elder dragons?
Yes,
Why would the council?
because
Due to a prophecy.
they believe that they can change the prophecy to benefit them.
I believe that is a lie.
Well, that's what we've been told, and that's what they've been making people think.
You are a scholar, yes, Miss Ace, talking to Teo.
Yes.
Do you have books of, how do I say it? Various believers.
I mean, I'm sure.
Somebody
I'm sure
corrects me. He goes,
sure she
"You
does.
mean like cults?" One of his guys. The guy goes, "Yes, yes, like those of the Blood of Vol."
I mean, I'm sure Tay does.
Yeah, yeah. You can say yes. That's up to you.
I'm like, I'm sure I do. Yes. Is there
Show
a
me where.
particular- Shit. I don't know where the hell it is.
Sab and
In,
Tay's
in
room.
the room somewhere.
Yeah.
Give me a minute. Let me go find it.
Okay. Well, he has to follow you to go look at the books.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well,
Okay, so
let's-
you guys
the room's a mess.
head towards the room. Whoever wants to follow can follow.
Sab's going with.
And he looks over one. And it's one that's on the Blood of Vol. He tosses it aside.
I
Okay.
wanted to ask him if he had seen any visions pertaining to that one particular fellow that we
No.
saw on the airship.
No,
Give
he
him
doesn't.
a description, but
When you do get the description, he has no clue. He continues to scour the books, tosses the Blood of Vol onto the side, tosses one on the emerald, a couple on the emerald claw, and finally arrives to one that you hadn't really touched. You had basically looked over Undying Court kind of
The land.
stuff, and
Yeah.
you had looked over mostly dragon stuff. This one is just an old one. And on it is those of the dust. And he goes, this. And he opens it, and it's this study of the Lords of Dust. And their philosophy actually ties in more with these dragons and the dragon prophecies of old, far more than the Undying Court. He says, These Lords of Dust, as they call themselves, they can change. They can. They could infiltrate in the days of yore. They could be the leaders of cities, and we would never know.
So they could have replaced the Undying Court.
Yes, but how is beyond me. Well, this ties to my vision. He's referring it to it.
Kay is gonna end up reading the rest of that book for the
Yeah.
rest of the day.
Yeah. Essentially, the Undying Court and the Lords of Dusts would have actually opposed each other. But the Lords of Dust, they favored the dragons in the War of the Dragons. And it would very much seem a good motive for them to want to bring these old dragons back.
So essentially, the elves may be working for them and they don't even realize it.
Correct.
Well, Tay's saying that.
Yeah, and the elder has a seat on the bed, kind of like taken aback as to what's going on.
You know who'd have fun exposing that kind of trick and turning it on its head, don't you?
The Traveler.
You haven't talked to him in a while.
Somebody scoots in on a rolly chair. Yo, guys, I just heard some shit.
Yeah.
It'd be kind of great is when I contact him, the first thing you hear is a slow clap, and you're like,
Yeah.
took you guys long enough.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, you could have told us, and we could have already been trying to mess with this now.
So you're gonna try and commune the traveler?
Might as well.
You know your questions before you talk to him. Wait.
No, we're gonna wait until we get some questions here.
Okay, go ahead and gather your questions. We can take an early break, so you can gather your questions, and we'll be right back. If
I'm
that's
gonna
up for you
ask
guys.
everyone in the room if they've got some suggestions.
Okay, that's fine. I'll go on break though, and we'll organize the questions.
Okay, I
So.
need to use the restroom.
Yeah. All right. So go on a quick break.
All right.